Hello, my name is Katie Maynard and I'm head teacher at Langefeld Primary School. We've put together this Year Art information video for you to introduce you to some of the main staff at school and to give you lots of information to help you get ready for September. It's quite a long one with lots of information, so I suggest you get yourself a cup of tea and a piece of paper and a pen and write down any questions you might have to ask the class teachers in your individual Zoom meetings that will be coming up in the next few weeks. These first few videos are recorded by Mrs Baldwin, who's our Deputy Head for Inclusion, and the office staff members who you will see when you're dropping children off or who will answer the phone to you if you need to ring through to the office.
Hi, I'm Mrs Baldwin. I'm the School Deputy Head for Inclusion. So in my role I am the School SENCO and I'm also the teacher in charge of our Specialist Resource Provision known at Langefeld as SLIC. So in my role as SENCO, I'm going to hold a meeting on Monday the 20th of July at 2 p.m. This will be a Zoom meeting which any parent with a child with special educational needs or any inquiries is welcome to join. When you book your meeting with your class teacher, if you let the office know that you want to join the SEN meeting on the 20th of July, then we'll make sure that you're sent an invitation. Obviously, we'll just need your email address to do that. If your child has an EHCP or had SCARF funding at preschool, then it might be more appropriate for you to have an individual SEN appointment with me and the class teacher. So when you make your appointment with the class teacher, if you let them know that your child has an EHCP or has had funding at preschool, then I will be invited to join that meeting as well. We are a very inclusive school here at Langefeld. We have a high number of children because of our SLP with autism and different needs through the school. We have a wonderful AEN team, Additional Educational Needs team, which comprises of Mrs Leon, who is our speech and language mentor. We have 3 Thrive practitioners in school who all provide support for children with their social and emotional development. We also have Mrs James, our school counsellor, and we have Winnie, our cockapoo, our school therapy dog. We really believe that it's important that children are settled socially and emotionally, feel happy in school in order to thrive and to do well in their learning. I mentioned previously that we have SLIC, which is our Specialist Resource Provision. SLIC is a provision run by Kent SEN, and it is for 26 pupils with an EHCP and a diagnosis of autism. The process for application for places in SLIC doesn't happen through the school, that actually happens through Kent SEN, so it's not part of the school application, so it's actually separate. But all of our children in the provision access mainstream learning, and sometimes there's opportunities for our children in the mainstream to work alongside our children in SLIC. Obviously, I'm not sure how that's going to look in September due to working in bubbles, but moving forward, that's hopefully where we'll move back to. I think that's everything from me now. So the SEN meeting will be on the 20th of July at 2 p.m. Please let the office know if you want to join that meeting, and they will take down your email address so that I can invite you. If your child again has an EHCP or SCARF funding, so we need to have a bit more of an in-depth conversation regarding your child's needs for September, then please, when you book your teacher meeting, let them know, and I will make sure that I attend that meeting as well, along with specialist teaching service if necessary as well, if they've been involved with your child. And I look forward to speaking to you then. Take care. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Hi, my name's Anna Beard. I'm the School Business Manager. I deal with admin, finance, health and safety. By now you should have all received a pack through your door which contains all the forms we need you to fill in so we can get your children on the system with all the correct details. The ladies from the office will go through the contents of that pack in a bit more detail later in the video. However, I wanted to talk about free school meals. All children in reception are entitled to a free school lunch, regardless of your personal circumstances. However, as a school, to access the most funding we can, we ask that you complete this form and return it to us as a high priority. So it's a free school meals and pupil premium form. If you can ensure that is returned to us in the pack, regardless of your circumstances, then we can make sure we're accessing everything we can as a school. As you'll appreciate, school budgets are tight, so we need to do all we can to maximise the funding to provide your children with the best possible education we can.
Hello, my name is Holly Burgess and my main roles at Llangefell cover admissions, attendance and your child's medical needs. I'd like to tell you a little bit about what I do and take you through some of the forms in your admissions packs. I know there are quite a few forms to complete, but it is really important that you do fill them in and return them to the school office as soon as you can so that we can complete your child's registration and ensure that we have all the correct details. The first form is the admissions form. It's 2 pages. And with this, we will also need to see your child's birth certificate, proof of address, and if you have any court orders, we will also need a copy of those. We have 2 medical forms. The first one is from KCC, and the second is a more in-depth form and also covers permissions. Both forms need to be completed and returned to us. Next, we have the Pupil Ethnic and Monitoring Questionnaire and Pupil First Language, which are both required by KCC and are for data collection purposes. We have our free school milk form. This only needs to be completed if you don't wish to have your child receive free school milk. So this is literally an opt-out form. Next, we have our permissions booklet. This covers our homeschool agreement, safeguarding and any permissions that we need from you. If you require anyone other than yourselves to collect your child at the end of the day, you must complete this form with any contact details of the people that you would like to collect your child. This is the permissions section of the booklet. This covers e-safety, photography and local visits. So we're going to need you to circle yes or no to each of those. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about attendance now. Government guidelines state that attendance should be no less than 96%, which is less than 8 days off a year. And with your support, we hope to be able to achieve this. The attendance register will be taken at the start of the first session of each school day at 9 AM and again after lunch at 1 PM, ready for the start of the second session. It's important that for your child to arrive on time so they don't disrupt the class or miss out on key information for the day. If your child is late for registration, they will receive a late mark. If your child is absent due to illness, then it's the parent's responsibility to contact the school before 8:30 AM on the first day of absence, giving the type of illness and expected day of return. If your child is absent for 10 consecutive days, you will need to provide us with a doctor's note in order for the absence to be authorised. If not, if I have not spoken to you, I will be chasing you for an explanation via phone and email. Any absence requests must be requested in writing via a leave of absence form, which you can obtain from the school office. Please avoid taking family holidays during school term. It's really unlikely that they will be authorised. Any medical appointments will require a letter or appointment card, which you can request while you're attending the appointment. An email or text message will suffice as well. Any appointments without proof will be recorded as unauthorised absence, and if your child's attendance falls and remains below 96% or they have repeated unauthorised or unexplained absences, I will take matters further and contact our school liaison officer, but hopefully it won't come to that. If your child has any medical issues that haven't been covered in either medical form, then please contact me to discuss this, as it may mean we need to come up with a healthcare plan or our staff need specific training. If your child needs regular doctors' prescribed medication to be taken in school, you will need to complete a permission to prescribe medication form, which can be obtained via the office. Medication must always be handed over and collected directly to the office by an adult. Thank you.
Hello, welcome to Langefeld Primary School. My name's Sarah Dawes and I work in the office. I'm just going to give you some advice about some of the forms that's going to be in your pack. You will find a form with breakfast and after school club, which are our extended school services. We will provide additional services for your children from 7:40 in the morning at Breakfast Club, where they will be provided with a breakfast food item and some drinks and time to release some of their energy before they start class. And then for after school, it would be directly from school and latest collection would be 6 o'clock. Those services are pick up at 4:30, £6, pick up at £6, £12 per child. There'll be a registration form that just needs completing. Please complete it even if you have no intention of using the service at the time. We will pop it on file, and then during your child's time at our school, if you chose to use the service, we've already got the information there. And there's an extended school service agreement as well that needs to be completed. To pay for this service, you would use our parent pay. You would have already received a leaflet like this, and we have a registration document at school for when you return your pack that you can collect, that will enable you to log on and set up an account. Any issues, we're here in the office to help you at any time. Thank you. Bye.
For each year at Langefeld, we have an intake of 45 children. In Year R, these children are split into 2 groups of about 22 or 23. The next few videos are recorded by our 3 Year R teachers, who will be supported next year by a number of teaching assistants.
Hello, my name's Mrs Watkins and I am Bumblebee class teacher on Wednesdays, Thursdays and Fridays. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit now about routine. So we recognise at Langefeld that routine is really important to help young children settle. So when your child starts with us in September, we will support them to settle into the routine of being in school quite quickly. The children's day will be split between some structured adult planned sessions, which will be quite short, especially initially, and then longer periods of what we call child initiated, more free play. When in child initiated sessions, the children are able to make choices of where to learn and play, and then the adults within the setting will observe, support and engage with them and move their learning forward with them in their play. When in reception, your child will follow the Early Years Foundation Stage curriculum, and this is a curriculum that if your child has been in a previous setting such as the nursery or preschool, it's the curriculum that they would have been following throughout that. It runs right up until the end of their reception year, and it's split into 7 main areas of learning, and these are then split again into 2. Into the prime areas of learning, which is personal, social, emotional development, physical development, and communication and language, and then into the specific areas, which is literacy, mathematics, understanding the world, and expressive arts and design. The prime areas are those that deal with emotions, physical development, speaking, listening, understanding, all those skills and important elements that children need in order to be able to learn and access things effectively. So they are made into the prime areas because they're sort of the foundations, if you like, that the children need first in order to be able to learn their literacy, their mathematics, their understanding the world and their expressive arts and design. So they run alongside. I've already discussed in a previous video about how the children will have parts of the day which are child initiated, which is where they're making choices about where they're going to go, what they're going to learn, and in those child initiated periods of the day they will have access to both the indoor and the outdoor classroom, whatever the weather. So it is important that they do get sent to school with suitable clothing, coats in all year round really, because you never know in this country what the weather's going to be like. Sun hats for if we end up having some nice weather at some point. But I know that Miss Watton is going to talk to you in a different video in a little bit more detail about exactly what sort of kind of clothing requirements your child's going to need, so I won't go into that too much now. When your child starts school with us in September, they will start to have short daily phonics sessions. Some settings and preschools do begin to incorporate some phonics learning into their time with the children if they're in a setting sort of towards the end of the summer. So your child, if they've been to a setting, may have had some experience of phonics, but they will start in September with us having a short daily session on phonics, and we'll start by teaching the sounds that go along with the alphabet. So we will teach the letter names for the alphabet, but we will also then teach the sounds, because it is the sounds that allow your child to then begin to be able to blend and read words, and segment, which is splitting them into the sounds to spell and write. At Llangefell, we follow the Letters and Sounds programme. So we will start by introducing the alphabet sounds. That won't be in the order of the alphabet. It's a slightly different order than that, but we will introduce all the sounds for those single letters first, and we'll begin to introduce some what we call tricky words. Now, tricky words are words that you cannot use your phonics to read and decode. So we will also begin to teach tricky words. As we teach the sounds and the tricky words, we will send home for you resources such as flashcards with the sounds and the words on, so that you can continue to support your child's phonic learning at home. When the children are comfortable and secure, and that might be at a different speed depending on the child, but when they are comfortable and secure with all those first set of sounds, all those single letter sounds, then we will move on to the next phase of the phonics programme, where we begin to teach them digraphs and trigraphs, which are sounds that are made up of 2 letters for digraphs and 3 letters for trigraphs. When we have taught the children all of the first set of sounds for all those single letters, and then the next set of digraphs and trigraphs, they will then know one way of reading and spelling all possible sounds. There are some alternative spellings for some of the sounds, and that is looked at later, and generally that might be something that we may begin to look at the end of reception year, but largely that's where they tend to start looking at when they move into year 1. As part of enabling the children to access the curriculum in the best way possible, here at Llangefell we plan from the children's interests. So that means that we are talking with them, observing them, seeing what they like doing, what they're interested in, and then that's where we make our decisions about what particular topics that we might learn. We also make sure that we look at and focus on key events that might be happening through the year. So, for example, Christmas is always very important to lots of children, so we do tend to do some learning based around that. The same with Easter, but also key sporting events, so Olympics, World Cups, any of those things that might be happening in the world that we can then incorporate into the children's learning, because it's likely that there'll be something that they will be interested in because it's sort of happening and it's relevant. We find that this is the best way to help the children to learn effectively, because it's from their interests and it's kind of short-term planning so that it stays relevant to keep their interest.
Hi everyone, I hope you're all okay. I'm Miss Watton. I'm Ladybird's class teacher. Although I'm Ladybird's class teacher, I should be seeing you all around the classroom and teaching you all as well. This is Chippy. This is Ladybird's class bear. He would like to say a big hello and he can't wait to meet you too. I can't wait for a great year with you and I can't wait to find out more about you. See you all soon. Hi everybody, it's Miss Watton here. I hope you're all okay. I just wanted to give you an insight into what you'll need in September with regards to forest school clothes, PE kits and school uniform, etc. And I just want you to not feel too overwhelmed and feel prepared and ready to go in September. So the first thing your child will need is some spare underwear and either a spare school skirt or some spare trousers in a carrier bag that's labelled with their name on, and we'll pop that on their peg in September, and that's just for when they have an accident throughout the year, or if they have an accident throughout the year and they've got something to change into. For Forest School, so Forest School is somewhere where we go with the children, we explore our environment outside. The children absolutely love it. We climb trees, we sing songs, we make dens, we go on nature trails, we tell stories, and we go outside in all weathers. So your child will need a wetsuit, a waterproof wetsuit, and you can get these from somewhere like Regatta, and they often last a lot longer and you're not having to buy twice, which is great. And we also use them for things like playing in the mud kitchen, playing in the sand pits, playing with the water trays. So they are a really vital piece of uniform that the children will need. Please make sure that's labelled, and please make sure that your child has some wellies that are also labelled, not with biro but with marker pen, just on the inside so that it doesn't rub off. That would be great. We also ask you to provide some old clothing of a long sleeve top and some long sleeve trousers, just if they're not wearing their wetsuit, it just protects them from getting scratched or from getting stung by stinging nettles, and they're all protected at all times, so that's really vital as well. For PE kits and school uniform, you can find information on the school website about where to get certain items from, so please have a look on there if you're confused. But they will need black plimsolls, and trainers are optional. They will need a black pair of PE shorts, and you will need a school t-shirt with the school logo on, and it will be in their house colours. So each child will be in a different house. They will either be in beech, oak, chestnut or willow, and in each house you have a different colour, and that colour represents the house. So, and then you'll be able to get that from the school website. Some children I know have siblings, so you will be in the same coloured house as those siblings. But for the new starters, you will be given a house colour, and you will need to get a t-shirt that represents that house colour. You can have a tracksuit, which is optional, and that can be in black, blue or red. So you can get that if you want to. And please make sure that on PE days your child's not wearing earrings, because they can't take them out and we can't take them out for them. So it's really important to please try and remember when you find out which days PE will be on for them not to be wearing earrings. That would be great. With regards to school shoes, please make sure your child has Velcro shoes. That's really important because we want them to be as independent as possible, and they're not yet ready for laces. So please make sure they have Velcro shoes. With regards to bags, school bags, they don't have a lot of things to take home or to and from school, so please make sure that they have a book bag, as it fits on their peg a lot better as well. And the bigger bags are really tricky for them when they've got forest school items on their peg, PE kits. It's just a lot to take on and off. So please make sure they just have the school red book bag. That would be great. Also, please make sure that anything that you bring in is labelled, so socks, underwear, PE kits, forest school clothing, school clothes, school bags, everything needs to be labelled. The children do lose quite a lot of stuff throughout the year, and just having a name on it makes it so much easier, and that goes for school jumpers as well, and coats. So also we would like you to make sure that you put their PE kits in the PE bag, and that has a label on it. Forest school stuff can go in the PE bag as well if it all fits. And obviously spare underwear, please put in a labelled carrier bag as well. I think I've covered most things there, but if you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch and I'll be able to help you with that, or check on the school website. The school website also has the link for school uniform, so you can find out what you need and where to get it from. Look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. The next thing I want to talk to you about is tapestry. You may be familiar with tapestry, as you may have used it in your child's nursery setting, but if you haven't, don't worry, we're here to help and guide you through it. Tapestry is one of several forms of assessment we use in reception, and it's a great way for us to record and observe your child's key moments in their development. It's also a great way for us to communicate throughout the year as we can upload and add pictures, and so can you at home, and we can share those key moments in class. In any instance when we're observing a child, we'll take a picture or a video of the task that your child is doing. We then quote the exact language that they've used and put it in the comments box just below the picture or video. It's really important you use the exact language so that we can really see what the child achieved. We then write what progress they've made, or we relate the picture to the area of development that they've learned. We then sometimes are able to write a next step so we can further develop their idea or task around what they're learning. We really like to celebrate the child's achievements, so if there's something at home that they've learned or achieved, we'd really like you to share them with us in class so we can share them with everybody else. It really gives a child a sense of achievement, and we really enjoy seeing what they're doing at home as well. We ask you to follow the same process, so you might need to add a title, you might need to then add a photo or a video of what they're learning. We ask for the video to be no longer than 2 minutes long, and then we ask you to write in the box just below exactly what they've learned, that key language, the language that they've used. Okay, it's really important that we use the language that they have used. In that task, we ask you to write it just underneath. We also put things on there like homework tasks or just little bits of information throughout the year, and you're free to comment on them and we're free to comment on yours as well. Again, it's a really nice way of communicating. Sharing any information from Tapestry is strictly prohibited. When you sign up to using Tapestry, you will have to confirm that you won't share any of this information. It's really important, as child's information is really important and needs to be secure. So we really do ask that you don't share any of this on social media. If you are unsure on how to use anything to do with Tapestry, please don't hesitate to contact ourselves or another member of staff, and we're always able to help you. The main reason why we use Tapestry is because it's a great way of celebrating your child's learning. It's a great way of seeing of how far they've come from the start of the year all the way through and seeing their development. It's a really nice way to share that. So we ask that everybody uses it in the correct manner and for the correct reasons. I hope that's all okay, and I hope you all understand everything that I've said. If you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me, and I'm always able to help you. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Miss Baker. Like your child, I too will be starting Langerfield School new in September. What an exciting time. Between now and then, there are lots of things that you can do with your child at home to help them to be school ready. Firstly, encouraging them to get dressed and undressed independently. Putting on their clothes, their coat and their shoes are all things that your child will need to be able to do when they come to school. To recognise their name written in lowercase letters. Going to the toilet and washing their hands are also things that your children will need to be able to do independently that you can practice at home. Practicing lots of fine motor skills with your child, getting them to use scissors, pens, pencils, crayons, paintbrushes will all be good practice for when they start school in September. Using cutlery. The children who will be staying for school dinners will need to use a knife, fork and spoon, so practicing this at home will make it less daunting for them when they do stay for lunch. If your child is going to be packed lunch, they will need to be able to open the containers and cartons in their packed lunch, so you can practice this at home with your child before they start school as well. Don't worry if your child cannot do all of this list before they start school in September. We are here to help them, and we will practice lots of these many times at school. I will also put on a list for a few other ideas of things you could do to practice with your child at home before September. I look forward to seeing all of the children in Bumblebee and Ladybird class then, and meeting you all. Bye-bye.
Children in reception with us will be offered a daily snack. Now, we are a school that is part of the Free School Fruit programme, so there is fruit that is delivered to the school that we use as part of our snack and is available to the children. But we like to use our snack time as a learning time. So it's a really important social time for the children to be sitting, chatting, developing their personal social skills, developing their speaking and their language, to be actually sitting and talking with peers when eating their snack. But we also like to get the children to help to prepare snack. So what we ask for is a small contribution termly from parents and carers, so that in addition to the free school fruit, we can also offer toast, cereals, rice cakes, breadsticks, and add to the fruit that is on offer, so that we can encourage the children to try a wider range of choices. This fits in really well with the early years curriculum in terms of those prime areas again, because obviously, as I've mentioned, the social side of eating together helps to develop the personal, social, emotional development part of the curriculum, but then equally by helping with making and preparing and cutting up and chopping and counting out how many of things we're going to need, we can bring in mathematics, we can bring in language, we can bring in description, but also that physical development. So again, developing some of the strength that they need for writing, because they're going to be helping to cut things, and it's a way that, you know, it's quite nice for the children to do it that way, because they're not necessarily aware that they're developing their pencil grip, but they're enjoying being part of a group and helping to prepare their snack. It again allows us to teach them and talk to them about healthy choices, and, you know, what foods we should have lots of, what we should have a little of, and why, and we can do all of that through the children taking that bit of responsibility of helping and learning how to prepare the snack. So as I said, we do ask for a small termly contribution from parents and carers so that we can offer that wide choice and really make the most of the snack time as a learning opportunity. As we're doing things a little bit differently this year, we'd like to invite you to take part in a virtual Teddy Bears picnic. So instead of inviting you all to come into school, what we'd like you to do is, with your child at home, in the garden, in the house, or perhaps at a local park or field area, have a picnic and let your child choose their favourite cuddly toy teddy bear and have that picnic together. And then take some photos or a little video and put this, once we have given you access, onto Tapestry. And the teaching staff, we're going to have our own Teddy Bears picnic with our favourite teddy bears, and we'll put that on for you guys to see, so that hopefully it's just another way for us to try and make a link between what we're doing and what you're doing at home. And your videos and photos will again allow us to get a bit of an insight into your child, what they're like in a familiar environment, and what their interests are. So I hope that you can find the time to take part if you want to, and it will be great once you're up and running on Tapestry for us to see pictures, photos, videos and things of how you got on.
We hope you enjoyed the video and found it really useful and informative. Don't forget, if you've got any questions at all, please ask these at your upcoming Zoom meetings, or pop along to Mrs Baldwin's SEN forum on the 20th of July and you can ask her questions too. If you still have questions that need answering, just give the school a ring or email office@langefell.kent.sch.uk and ask any questions you have there. We hope you enjoy your virtual Teddy Bears picnic, and we're really looking forward to meet you face to face in September. Thank you.